Hello everybody, and welcome to another GovGrants tutorial video. My name is David Dabb, and today we're going to be walking you through the Subrecipient Organization Registration. So, as an external organization who wants to receive funding from LMG, you need to register into GovGrants first before you can apply for funding. So in order to do that, what you'll do is you'll come here to the login page, and let me zoom in a little bit so that way you can see a little bit better. There we go. You're going to come to the login page and you're going to click register up here. Now here, if you're an organization, you're going to go ahead and you're going to expand this organization section. If you're an individual, particularly if you're an SME reviewer who's going to assist LMG with reviewing applications, you would expand individual. In this case here, our tutorial video is designed to cover subrecipient organization registration. People who are going to be applying for funding, receiving funding and grants from LMG. So we're going to expand organization. And then here you can see we have a set of instructions, some things that you need to make sure that you have in place before you begin. First, you'll need to make sure you have your EIN number handy. That is a required field. You'll need to be able to provide your EIN. Another thing is that if you're registered in sam.gov, you'll want to have your UEI number handy. The UEI number will allow us to integrate with sam.gov and pull your organization's information from sam.gov and keep that in sync with GovGrants. So that way, if any information needs to be changed, you don't have to change it in two places. You just change it in sam.gov, and then those updates can be carried over into GovGrants automatically. If you're not registered in sam.gov, that's okay. The UEI number is not required. It's helpful, but it's not required. And that's basically the two main things you have to have handy and ready to go. So let's go ahead and click begin registration and we'll be on our way. So first up, when you begin the registration, you need to first agree to this user agreement here. So we'll go ahead and we'll click agree. If you click disagree, you'll be taken back to the login page. And then here, this is where you're asked to provide your EIN, your UEI number, and then if you have a vendor ID, you can enter that as well. Anything with this red asterisk is marked as required. So the EIN is the only field required here. The UEI and the vendor ID are both optional. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to provide just a random string of numbers, a whole bunch of ones as my EIN, since I'm just creating a test organization here in this case. And then we'll go ahead and click save and continue. If you click cancel, it'll take you back to the login page. Now at this point, the next step is your organization's information. If you provided your UEI number, we'll pull your organization information and then display it here for you. In this case, I didn't provide a sam.gov UEI number, so in this case, I need to fill out everything manually. So I'm going to go ahead and fill out the fields here. You can see we have a wide variety of organization types available. Are you a for-profit? Are you a non-profit? I'm going to go and select non-profit. Phone number, fax number if you have it, website if you have it. Again, fields with the little red asterisks, those are required. So the rest of these are optional. I'm going to go ahead and skip over these. It's helpful to LMG as well if you provide your fiscal year end date. That way they just understand when your fiscal year ends. So that way it can help them line things up. But again, it is optional. Here we also have a reason for registration field. So what is your main reason for registering? Are you here to just explore grant opportunities? Is there a specific grant in mind that you want to apply for? Are you already an organization that has grants with LMG and now you need to manage those grants? A lot of cases, you guys are going to be this. So I'm going to go ahead and select Manage a Grant. Further down, you're going to be asked to provide your organization's address. So address line 1. If you have an address line 2, like a suite number or anything like that, that would go here. Your county is also optional. City, state, and zip code. And down here we have your payment address. If your payment address is different from your main organization address, you can provide a different address in here. If it's the same as your organization address, you can just select yes for this first question here. and the system will use the organization address as the payment address. Once everything here looks good, you'll be able to click Save in order to move on to the next step. All right, the last bit of information that the system needs for the registration process is your authorized representative's information. The authorized representative is going to be the main person who's going to be acting on behalf of your organization. So it doesn't have to be like a director or a CEO, anyone at that super high executive level, but it does need to be someone who has the authority to represent the organization and complete documents, agree to contracts, that kind of thing. They need to have the authority to be able to act on behalf of the organization in the system. So I'm going to go ahead and enter a name here. I'm going to go and just enter test user. If you have a title, you can enter that here. If there's a prefix you would like to use, you can use one here. These are optional, so I'm going to leave them alone. We automatically populate the organization's address here, but if you would like to change it, you can do so. I'm going to leave it the same though. And then finally, a phone number and an email. So I'm going to go test user. I'm going to go 85 because today's the 5th of August. That way I have a unique email because I'm sure there's other test users in this test system. And save. Now at this time, you've provided the system all the information it needs. Now it just needs to do one final check, whether or not you're a robot, right? We've all done these CAPTCHAs a million times. They can be a minor nuisance, but long story short, you click the box and you may have to do a photo test here. You don't always have to do it, but you might have to. In this case here, I need to select pictures with bridges. So bridge. Okay. Probably a bridge because of the water. All right. So we've proved we're not a robot now, and we're going to go ahead and submit our registration. And now that you've submitted your registration, you receive a confirmation message here in order to confirm that your registration has indeed been submitted. From here, what's going to happen is LMG is going to review your registration information and then approve that registration information. They're also going to provide a limit of the amount of users that you're going to be able to invite. So here during the registration, you put in your authorized organization representative's information. Once your registration is approved, that authorized organization representative is going to receive an email from Salesforce to set their password and then log into the system. Once they're logged into the system, they'll be able to invite secondary users to also join them. So that way they're not the only ones interacting with the system. If they need help completing things like payment requests or progress reports or applications, the secondary users will be able to assist the authorized representative in this work. So LMG will provide a limit to the maximum number of secondary users you'll be allowed to use. But that's everything as far as submitting the registration goes. So hopefully that was informative. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out. We're always happy to help. Thank you so much for watching and have an incredible day.